and compromise your chances of fighting for a victory on Sunday.
Indeed, yeah, big session this, particularly for the likes of Rins. A bit of a break ahead of the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, just regroup, and hopefully that...
It's so good to see fans back.
Capacity crowd. Great to see the fans flocking back through the gates here in Austria, the campsite.
Hopefully for that man on screen just a moment ago, Portugal's Miguel Oliveira, he'll be hoping that he can race in the Algarve as we return there to the crowd, and that will be some atmosphere. Looking forward to heading back to that part of the world
to try and get in.
Here is Jorge Martin. Would probably be looked at as Rins, Marini, Martin, Oliveira, Rossi, Alex Marquez, Lecuona, Bastianini. He was excellent just a moment ago. Michael Cal Crutchlow will be riding when we head over to the British couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, will Yamaha forget interviews, the full lowdown on Maverick's meltdown here in the race 6 days ago. A lot of people parked behind the scenes to discuss the fate of Maverick Vinales, but Yamaha already minus Franco Morbidelli at the end of the season. Has he already left? Has he already taken part in his last Grand Prix as a factory Yamaha rider? Well,
if everything's not okay with him as a human, then he needs some good people around him, and that's good. I mean, some of his mechanics have been away from home for weeks. Some of their being away from home does this. It just looks so bad. And also, let's just think about the constructors and the team championship as well. Yamaha degrees.
Vinales should be parting ways, but thankfully that's for Lynn Jarvis and Iwata management to be picking the bones out of the factory Yamaha garage. Is there any way back from the controversy of last weekend?
Back the flying laps are coming through. Remember, the all-time lap record of this circuit was set by this man last week at 22.9. Zarca to start things off, and that's a pretty fast first flying lap from Pramac Ducati rider Jorge Martin, Paolo Campinotti, Yamaha boys, Rossi and Crutchlow. Here comes Alex Rins around turn 10. Far away, fourth.
Yeah, that's a heck of an early marker like Martin there with that mid 123. Desperate to get Rins into Q2. 13th he started here last weekend, fought his way through to 7th, but still
he's just on course to improve his lap time here. Let's pop down to Simon Crafar, something for us just as his first laps come through.
Like right now, keep an eye. You can see it's unpainted in my opinion, and a couple other people. It seems like it's happened in Superbike, believe it or not, earlier, but to me it looks like just simply unpainted magnesium, doing everything they can try and do to...
A little bit more about that. Alex Rins goes to second then, a 23.8 for the Suzuki man. He knocks Alex Marquez.
Richard rear tyre through turn 8 on the last lap. Bastianini also putting up a good charge here. He's to hammer home his advantage here. He already leads by a comfortable margin of over 3/10 with that 123.556. Here's that quickest man of the session so far. He's going to go even quicker here as well. He does. Jorge Martin picks up another 10th.5.
800ths of a second between those three, away from getting themselves into Q2. So Martin and Bastianini it is. Here comes
1,000th clear then of Bastianini, who in turn is just over 100th clear of Oliveira. It's really super tight.
Nico Lecuona about to head back out. He's 8th at the moment. Pretty good enough to book a place into Q2 as he heads into pit lane for a quick tyre change.
Brilliant for him to advance directly into Q2 then. That 23.396 may well take some beating here. Another lap time that's better than his 123.781 with Bastianini, Oliveira, Marquez and Rossi breathing down.
Into pit lane then comes Jorge Martin. Job done so far. There, shake of the head from Martin, who wants more. He was 4/10 quicker than that last week. Jives to Yamaha. Everything was about frustration, a lot of nerves. I rode the bike in a different way. It's an understatement of the century, really.
Everything was about frustration, a lot of nerves. Sometimes he has let apologies in the space of a week for Maverick Vinales. One to his paymasters. He apologised to his fans pre-weekend at Styria in Assen.
The wall is removed and Rins is released.
Mechanics are getting their step count up, that's for sure, every time Alex Rins goes out on circuit. No problem getting 10,000 steps.
Not far away actually from a place in Q2 just a moment ago. A replay here of Miguel Oliveira inside that helmet as he goes straight on at turn 3.
Yeah, turn 3, the start of all his problems over these two Austrians.
What's this wall all about, Simon?
Yeah, guys, I watched them last weekend closely. What it is, can get it out and away without them towing him, you know?
Okay, well, new tactics being used from Jorge Martin at the moment is the man to beat, though. A 23.396 for the Pramac Ducati.
It's whether you can keep tabs, and that's the problem. It's one thing to follow Jorge Martin around Spielberg right now, but his progress slowed somewhat by rear grip issues last weekend. They felt like I think it was 260 days, I think, last weekend, the last time he'd raced a MotoGP bike in Portimao at the back end of...
Being followed by Jorge Martin. Jorge Martin sticks his foot out, says, hello, I know what your plan is. Very good chance of getting through, but as Matt just rightly said, keeping the hooks into this man at the moment is a job and a half. He was not far away in his first go either.
See how hard Rossi was having to push through that first corner just to try and keep on the coattail of Martin.
Oliveira on the money in sector 1. He breaks down into turn 4, and on the exit of this corner,
lever, the more pain he would have been getting. This will be a bit of respite. These couple of left-handers flick right through turn 8.
Alex Rins is on course here to improve his lap time and make it more difficult for the others to chase. Change here, Rins does improve, a 23.5 and a 23.6. He needed to improve as well. Marquez up to 3rd, but Rins...
3.611. Martin finds more time. Brilliant job this by the Spaniard. He improves to a 120.
Rins up in sector 1. Alex Marquez could be well placed, Matt. The LCR rider right.
They will get one more lap in these boys. Alex Marquez. Now then, we thought that 123.317 had got the job done for the Pramac Ducati man, but there's late drama building here. Look at Rins. Is going to need this lap. Alex Marquez has lost a bit of time in sector 3 as well. Oliveira has. This will be so... Does improve. Marquez can't make it. Martin is absolutely smashing it here on his new soft rear tyre. What about Oliveira? Is he going into the top 3? Martin again finds more time. Couple of real late charges there from Martin. He's down to a wanting job by him. It's game over for Alex Rins. Likewise for Alex Marquez.
Great job from Miguel Oliveira. He would have expected to go through a series of good laps from the Spanish rider, but Miguel Oliveira, 18th overall.
Yeah, second time in a week Alex Rins has been pipped to a spot in Q2.
A happy ending for Valentino Rossi, although the checkered flag hasn't come out since Mugello, his home race before the summer break. But Miguel Oliveira then are in Q2, and they're joined of course by the man on pole last week, Jorge Martin.
Already dialed in now to current track conditions, all warmed up and ready to go. 123.197 Miguel Oliveira, and just showing that nothing knocks him out of his stride. Paul Trevathan there, you can just see him geeing up Miguel Oliveira.
Turn 10, the last corner. 23.1, a fast time.
Alex Marquez was 4th, ahead of Enea Bastianini, who looks so good behind Zarco Winefti. Just over 3/10 cover the top 4 men in that opening qualifying session. But it's just to be a nail-biting, tense and dramatic Q2 session. Will it be Pramac Ducati continuing their domination? Tiger Road brothers, Millamir, Nakagami and Binder. They're the 12th men fighting it out.
Other than that, my favourite band in the whole world. That really does get you excited ahead of MotoGP qualifying.
Setting that they're experimenting with, he's sticking with that same bike, and to me the setting looks the same as in Davide Tardozzi. Say Jack wasn't completely happy, you know, setting wise, and I've been keeping an eye there because of that with his other bike. But yeah, like I said, they put a different setting in his spare bike. I'll let you know
How to turn it up on a Saturday afternoon.
Queen on a tannoy. Who's going to be the king of the ring in quality? He's got some consistent race pace to be threatening the top 6 tomorrow, if not better.
Marc Marquez leading the pack through the first flying laps that come round. The world champion Joan Mir has decided, I'm not having any.
I think this could be a real exciting qualifying session. Will it be another record breaker? We've already had a new all-time lap record this Red Bull Ring circuit.
Fabio Quartararo And Johan Fabio Quartararo has been the quickest man.
Ducati hasn't really worked out for him in race scenarios. A tough race in Assen, a tough race last weekend.
The pace is hotting up, the weather is hotting up. Will we see another all-time lap record? Is it a little bit too warm to see 21? In terms of the BMW M Award for Best Qualifier of the Year, he's absolutely Miguel Oliveira then, joined by KTM teammate Brad Binder in this session. What can
second session? All the talent and skill as well helped out the KTM man, because don't underestimate how tough Bagnaia got that first corner all wrong. So did Jorge Martin behind him.
Not too many. So Quartararo starts his first flying lap.
Yeah, front row on a podium last weekend.
Miguel Oliveira has been on the second row 3 times this year. Lap's already been cancelled for Bagnaia. That'll be for exceeding track limits.
That was turn 1, he got in a bit hot, and I think 1:24.377. That will be bettered by some big margin. Home Grand Prix here in Spielberg. Pol Espargaro did it here in Red Bull Ring 2 last year. It was KTM's first ever
position since Aragon 2018. Qualifying, not his strong point, the South African.
Yeah, Zarco, 1:24 in this session, a 1:23.984 then from Zarco, who was on the money in
and a half. Marc Marquez, who's behind him on circuit, is up by a quarter of a second.
Marquez though and Martin, look at the lap times they're building. Likewise, Pecco Bagnaia. We thought this was going to be pretty feisty. 23.688 does it, but straight away, blink of an eye, less than 10 seconds later, he's back in 5th.
Bang goes 4th. Oh, it's Martin again. A 23.037 is the time to beat. Great lap from Martin, who came through
22.827. That's the all-time lap record. Quartararo wants pole. It is! It's pole and a new all-time lap record.
Unbelievable lap from Fabio Quartararo. Beat that, says the World Championship leader. Looking for his...
using the edge grip and the corner speed of the Yamaha to perfection in turns 9 and 10. In second place, the 2 Pramac Ducatis are on the front row right now, with Zarco in 3rd, and out of nowhere, Quartararo is not done. He's charging again here. Brilliant in the second sector. Deep now in the 3rd sector for the Monster Energy Yamaha man. A monster all-time lap record on his previous lap. Can he better that 1:22.677?
Magnificent lap. That's 2 lap records in 2 laps effectively. Both of them under Zarco's best from yesterday.
Now then, Pecco Bagnaia at the moment has not registered a lap time, of course. He was busted for track limits. That's becoming a bit of a place on the front row. He wants another Tissot watch strapped to his arm, but at the moment, nobody anywhere near Fabio's lap record from his compatriot Zarco by 1/10.5. Impressive. Super impressive.
I don't know what came out right now. You mentioned Martin and Zarco. Marc Marquez, I don't think, would be disappointed with 4th. Likewise, Espargaro, Aleix, that is in 5th.
Jarvis at the moment thanking his lucky stars that they have Fabio Quartararo on board a factory Yamaha with this Austrian Grand Prix. But the man who's leading the World Championship, the man who loves qualifying, 40 points clear from 7.
He was quietly confident, wasn't he, heading into this weekend, that they'd found something in the data, they'd found something that they've...
Poetry in motion. The best rider in MotoGP right now, going about his business on that factory Yamaha.
Time set for this man, Bagnaia, lap cancelled for exceeding track limits. He's got 5 minutes. An absolute stonker of a lap to beat Fabio Quartararo. I mean, there is absolutely no doubt that that's exceeding.
A bit scrappy, got to regroup here and keep his composure. Bagnaia. What about Joan Mir? Yeah, well, last weekend, moving up at least 1 row.
He's struggling through sector 2 though, Matt. Cannot get on par with number 8, and the 3rd sector will flash up.
Yeah, how's he getting on in that 3rd? Pushing Zarco off the front row. Estimated P5. Let's keep tabs in. There goes the Suzuki. Rear Quartararo though by 7/10. Look at this though. Pecco Bagnaia using the horsepower haven, that sector 1.
Boys of Martin and Zarco, have they got a few fireworks left? Bagnaia's just lost a tiny bit of time through sector 2, but
look at this from Joan Mir. He's now got his head down. He's got those soft rear tyre nicely up to working temperature. He was right on the money through the 1st sector and looking like he might be challenging for pole.
Now Bagnaia was again very great lap from Bagnaia. Joan Mir through sector 3 again. He's just lost a touch to more than settle for 4th place on the grid for tomorrow's race.
Yeah, that'll be job done. He'll be happy with that, no question. Just about to say, he has actually started on the front row of a MotoGP grid before. Of course, here in Austria last year when Johann Zarco had the pit lane inside the top 3.
At the moment, no one posing a threat to Fabio Quartararo. Rolled off. There's Florian and Checkman, part of his team down in the Red Bull KTM. Miguel Oliveira at the moment is 12th into turn 4. Get your braking marker absolutely spot on. Just that rear wheel skimming. Oh, half a second. Some Portuguese fans in the house.
Yeah, they can be proud of their man's performance so far this week in that Q1 session to come through with Marquez. Now then, also trying to improve on his 6th place. He won't want to be as well because he lost a whole bunch of time. Over 6/10 went away from Marquez in sector 2.
The 2 factory.
This would be impressive if he was to deny Fabio Quartararo. At the moment, he's on course for a 1:22.
Jack Miller onto the 2nd row. We'll be happy with that. Bagnaia then through sector 3. This is going to be crucial now. Fabio Quartararo. Brad Binder's also on a good lap here, which could take him onto the 2nd row of the grid. Bagnaia then with
on course for his 3rd successive front row. Then the Italian Binder 9th. Oh, it's gone wrong up the hill into turn.
Bagnaia up in sector 1 again. Marquez chasing Taka Nakagami. Nakagami at the moment is 12th and last in. Kagami's just sat up through turn 6. That's that gone. I think going from Zarco either at the moment.
Rhythm. He'd have certainly been expecting a place on the front row of the grid though. Marquez drops down the hill then into turn 9 for the final. Currently in 6th spot. I don't think he'd be too unhappy with the 2nd row start. He'd like better. Oh, it was close. He got up to 4th. Miller goes 5th.
Leaving it to the last minute again to light up the Red Bull ring. He's up in sector 2. The number 89 to another pole position.
Over the crest they come accelerating hard out of turn number 8. Oh, Martin!
He is!
And his all-time record!
He's back across the line!
He's done it!
Pole again! Oh, hey, Martin! The Martinator, your job, that is. He's just taken the last space on the 3rd row from his teammate. Zarco also salvaged 4th in the space of 7 days.
Got to be Jorge Lorenzo back in 2018, the last time a Ducati rider. Q1, topped that session, and then he's fought his way through to pole position. That's an exclusion. He snatches it by just 0.03 of a second from Fabio Quartararo. Your front row is Martin at a slightly different order.
And also, the same as last week, Zarco and Miller on the 2nd row. Worse, but it could have been an awful lot better.
What a session. He's absolutely electric in qualifying. Fabio Quartararo there was probably thinking, yep, I'll have a nice new shiny T-shirt.
That before with used tires was not so bad, so I think that we are strong for him. But yeah, it's a shame and a little bit disappointed, but good place to start the race tomorrow.
The pain on my knee because the race crashed, but yeah, happy for the work done and hope we can battle for the podium tomorrow.
At turn